So how do you maintain focus on your material when giving a presentation rather than focusing on, I'm feeling nervous? The way to do it isn't really to focus on your material or to focus on your anxiety. The secret is to focus on your audience. You need to be looking at your audience. You need to be empathizing with your audience. What knowledge do you have that's going to help that person improve some aspect of their life, their business, their finances? Anytime you're speaking, you need to really put yourself in the shoes of one audience member and think about, I could just sit there over a cup of coffee, have a one-on-one conversation. What knowledge do I have that could really help that person the most? Focus on them. That requires a certain amount of selflessness. Best speakers in the world exude the sense that there's nothing in the world they care about more than helping this one person and this one person and this one person, because they are trying to help the audience. When you're fixated on helping your audience, you don't have time for anxiety or worry or nervousness. And if you're really trying to help them and you've prepared as you should, then the material will come more naturally to you. Now, a couple of stumbling blocks that hurt people. If they go into a presentation and they've got some big list of a script or tons and tons of slides, and they're thinking, oh, I hope no one asks me questions. I have to go through my presentation. Time out. It's not your presentation. It's the audience's presentation. So part of what's making you nervous in a lot of situations is you didn't prepare adequately. You may have written out a 10-page, 20-page speech or a 30-page slide deck, word for word. That's a bad way of preparing for a presentation. You need to boil things down to a simple outline. If you're using screens, fine. They should have visuals, images, not text. You need to be able to glance down occasionally at a simple outline that fits on one page. So you can focus most of the time on this audience member and this audience member and all of your audience members. That way, you don't have the luxury of focusing on the fact that, oh, I'm nervous or I'm uncomfortable. You're not going to be focusing on, oh, where's the material? Did I cover that on page 7 yet? No, it's a conversation with the audience member. Now, they might not be talking to you, but they are communicating. They're looking at you and maybe nodding, or maybe they're ignoring you and staring at their cell phone. That's communication. It means you're doing something wrong. It means you're not interesting enough. So shake things up. Maybe ask a question from time to time. You can create a dialogue, even if it's just a rhetorical question and you want people to think for a moment. You rarely see rhetorical questions written in a PowerPoint slide deck because it's typically fact, bullet point. That's not a dialogue. That's a way of asking people to tune out. So focus on making this an interesting conversation, although it's one where you're doing most of the talking. Focus on really helping audience members. If you do that, you're not going to have to worry about, oh, how do I focus on my material versus being nervous.